The views expressed during this program does not necessarily represent those of really any sane person with a brain. Listening to this program may actually kill brainwaves and make you dumber than you may already be. Listener discretion is advised. Really, because this show sucks to begin with.
It is time for the Fantasy Fat Guys. I am Bill Powers.
I am Porterhouse.
And we are the Fantasy Fat Guys. Why? Because together, on the microphone, you've got 600 pounds.
It's like the Weather Girls, only with, white guys. No talent.
But we do have boobs, which is nice.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if they're as big as the Weather Girls, but it's close.
It's close. It's close. And aren't there 3 Weather Girls?
No, there were 2. And their original name was 2 Tons of Fun, but then... And people that think I'm making that up, I swear to God I'm not.
That is fantastic.
So, but if you listened last week, you can't worry about your mistakes. You can't lament on those because you effed up.
Yeah, you listened to us.
You trusted us.
What are you, a fool? 0.0. Congratulations.
We gave you some good advice, and we gave you some advice not so good.
Most of it was not so good.
I mean, here's the thing. I said that the Gronk thing was probably over when he came out and scored. I figured that with his age and with his health, that they'd probably use him in the every third week kind of thing.
Nope.
Roll him out for big games. But nope, he was out there, and Brady was finding him all over the place.
Congratulations. You said Big Ben was going to have a great day?
Nah, he threw for under 300 yards, 295.
Which, hey, it still wasn't horrible.
But, the other guy across the field was
did better
than David Carr. We had the Tim Patrick touchdown, correct?
Right. But what other points did he have besides that, though?
He had 3 for 37 in a score, but it was still enough to give you about a 12-point and a point per league.
Yeah, that was nice because I left Cortland Sutton on the bench for 33 points, I think it was, which is nice.
But yet you won, though. You're 2-0 and I'm 2-0, so it's pretty interesting.
Miracles happen.
Absolutely.
Miracles happen every day.
Once again, were you the lowest scoring victor again this
Yes,
week?
I am. Yes, I am.
I have to score 170 to win. This guy scores 120 to win.
Baby!
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I went into Monday night needing Devontae Adams to score about 17 points, and he scored about 21, so...
You rolled.
Just barely.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. But you know what? I got lucky because... who the hell did I play? Oh, #Walrus. Who is that?
That's Johnny Menino.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny Menino. Of the...
He's in the baseball league with us as well.
Oh, really?
He offers you all the bad trade.
Oh, he's the ass who was offering trades for...
The second-round pick.
Yeah.
John, if you listen, we love you. But you should have beat Bill this week. I don't know how you fell short.
Quite frankly, you should have, because Joe Burrow decided to throw him to the other team 3 times in a row was better than his own.
Exactly. Well, sometimes it's easier to, just find the other helmet. When the Bills went to the blue helmets, the red helmets, just so that the quarterback didn't have to see that same color white helmet that the other teams in the division had at the time.
Wasn't the helmet in, Spaceballs?
Helmet. Pretty much. So we gave you mostly not great
mostly
advice
poor
this week,
advice.
but this week we expect better from ourselves.
Well, you know what? But please, if you expect nothing, you will not be disappointed.
And that's what we're really trying to provide.
Yeah, and we could pretty much promise you that. Actually, my son said, I can't listen to you guys. I can't be on the show with you guys.
Family is just like,
But you know what? Screw you guys. We're 2-0.
Well, but we're 4-0 combined. We know what we're doing to an extent.
Yeah, we're
through the draft. And
barely.
now that we've said that out loud, we're going to be 4-6 combined after the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, things are all looking good for me this week. To be honest with you,
I am the favorite going in, but I was the underdog last week, so
right.
I don't really like it when I'm the favorite going in.
Okay, so first, some of the games this week, some of the bad things that happened. Of course, a lot of injuries.
Yeah, this is where it really started with quarterback position.
Yep.
Now, none of these guys that got hurt were going to be the guys that you were saying, okay, that's my
man.
Quarterback. But some of these guys were probably backups on your team, stuff like that. You look at Tua Tagovailoa, whatever they pronounce his name.
Right.
If you look at Tua, he looked like he was shot.
Right.
And he had negative for a rib injury.
He's the guy.
He looked worse.
Out of everybody, all the injuries.
Hopping off the field, everybody's trying to get off and maybe come back. Tyrod looks like he's a mess, but he's trying to get off the field. Maybe he comes back.
It's like
looked like he got shot.
He has sand in his vagina.
There was something up there,
yeah.
And all of a sudden, you think, well, Tua probably broke 4 ribs. He's not playing. X-rays
Negative.
So therefore, Tua might play. I don't even know if it. I mean, Jacoby Brissett showed you nothing last week,
Which is awesome.
Leads you to believe that he would be able to leave the Dolphins at home against the Bills, where they got blanked.
Yeah.
Now they get the Raiders, who are red hot. So it's going to be.
They're a juggernaut.
Well, they are, but I don't know how much you trust the Raiders, but listen, they're
So
winning
far.
games. They beat the Ravens,
And
and they beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
without Waller. Waller was like not even there.
He wasn't there until the end when they went for that big third down play. He caught the pass that kind of sealed it.
I think he was like, 5 for 65 or
Somewhere
something?
in that range. He was probably worth in a point per reception league. He's probably worth about 12, 13 points for the week. Which, again, next to my tight ends, looks great.
I think
the way you drafted Waller in the second or third round is low.
Very low, very low.
So that's where you get a little bit concerned about it. But you have to imagine that, the Raiders are going to be using him more. Here's what happened against Pittsburgh a little bit. They lost 2 defensive players. They lost, T.J. Watt, who's their best pass rusher.
What?
Exactly. And then they lost one of the defensive linemen. So all of a sudden, the pass rush that normally is vaunted was a little bit compromised, and it gave Carr a little bit more time to actually wait down the field and throw it deep to guys like Henry Ruggs. And he took advantage of it with that one bomb anyway.
And Ruggs was invisible the week before.
He had 5 catches for like a little over 100, but 70 was on the one play. But when you have that time to throw the ball down the field, it really works out.
Right.
Everybody in the AFC West, every team has gone out speed.
Right.
Everybody wants Tyreek Hill. They're like, we're tired of playing him. We want him against the Chiefs as well. And, so KJ Hamler, who doesn't turn around when the ball's thrown to him. Henry Ruggs, who's sometimes there, sometimes not.
Right.
It hasn't always worked out because it's really hard to find a guy like Tyreek Hill who, falls in the draft because he beats up his girlfriend in college.
Which is wrong.
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon. Just like, apparently, when you take advantage of women in Houston, it's frowned upon.
Well, we're starting Mills, right?
Right.
Household name. Don't know if he was the best quarterback at Stanford, let alone the Pac-12 while he was there. Now he's quarterbacking
the Houston Texans.
Who
have a BMW in the garage.
Yeah, they will not play this.
They will not play Deshaun.
And I guess you can't. Listen. If one woman, 2 women is too many, by the way. Listen, again, we've said it before. Both have daughters. We respect it. Listen, it's not that way. But, when you have teams, 17-20.
Right.
It's like, what the...
Maybe.
What's wrong with this guy? So now he's got to sit in the garage. They got to play this kid Mills. And the fact is, they traded off everybody. They won their opener. They blew out Jacksonville. And to be honest, if Tyrod doesn't get hurt, I think they beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
They were the better team.
Yep.
They were playing really, really well. But when Mills was in there, nothing against the kid. He didn't get to warm up with the starters at all.
Right.
Very minimal reps. 3rd-round pick out of Stanford. Did what he could, but, it's not the same.
Is Deshaun's crimes the same in Kentucky?
I think, what happens to Kin.
Oh, gotcha. Kin is off. Once you go past the Kin, now you've crossed the line.
It's a different thing. But in Texas...
Frowned upon. Correct.
And, it's ridiculous. So they have this quarterback that could be one of the top 7 or 8 in the league. And because he's a moron...
Yeah.
They can't use it, and basically use him, and they basically have given up their season. And they're, trying to tank the season, and the team won't do it. The team is playing hard.
Yeah, because
to get the top quarterback in next year's draft is pretty much what they're looking at, because they don't think they're going to be able to keep this kid.
Because to be fair, I don't think they expected anything to begin with. If you're a Texan fan, you're not sitting there saying, we were Super Bowl bound this year. You were expecting not to be good.
Yeah, and right now you're 1-1. You could have been 2-0, and
you might be able to compete.
You're tied with Tennessee. You're ahead of Indianapolis. You're ahead of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Right now you're tied for first in your division, and now you have to play Mills.
Gotcha.
Because you don't have, you can't use.
You can't use.
And you don't have Taylor. It's wow.
Big Ben might be out this week now.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
Most likely.
It's a left peck.
It's a left peck, which, again, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Well, his sexual problems was probably with the left peck.
With the left peck. But this is different.
This is totally different. Ben did not have a great game the other day either.
No.
You would think that he would be able to throw against the Raiders, but that Steeler offensive line still has not improved much, even though they tried to upgrade it a lot. You also look, Wentz got hurt. that never happens.
Never.
So you don't expect Carson Wentz, who, generally can give you a good 6 or 7 games a year.
Dude, I have a hard time walking with one bad ankle. He did it good. He's got 2.
The thing about it, though, is as bad as he was, he looked like he was trying to lobby his way back in, and you thought they'd bring him back in at the end, and they didn't. And they just he was there, and then they just wouldn't let him do it.
He's no Tua.
No, he looked like he was trying to play. Tua looked like he was shot. I thought he cracked like 12 ribs. I had no idea. I thought it was brutal. They're like rib injury.
Right.
Then it was rib, not ribs. I was like, 1 rib? Okay.
That's
whatever. I mean, listen, I've broken ribs. It doesn't feel good. Don't get me wrong. But he didn't break his rib.
Yep. Speaking of breaking, the entire running back core for the San Francisco 49ers.
So in our league, somebody bid like $60.
53. It was 53 for Mitchell.
For Mitchell, who got tackled inside the 1, didn't give him the touchdown. I played against him.
Right.
And I won by 50. And I'm not saying it for that reason. He beat the shit out of me in a baseball the same week. So we split with each other, only his meant something and mine.
Yeah, he's going to get money.
He's going to get money and I'm not.
Right.
But he paid $53 for Mitchell. And now Mitchell's banged up.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the fact that don't sleep on Hasty. And he didn't look bad when they gave him the ball.
Except
he's
he
out 6 to 8 weeks.
And the best part is you finally got Trey Sermon in there.
And he got a concussion.
For a 1 play. And he might be out this week.
He's still in protocol.
That's the protocol,
we record the show on Tuesday, so by Thursday or Friday there might be different things. But, so now Mosley looks like the go-to guy. Kerryon Johnson is on the practice squad, so they'll probably bring him up. They're trying out, household names like Lamar Miller and Duke Johnson, who you've heard of.
Right.
Are on the backside of their career, so to speak.
T.J. Yeldon also supposed to be coming in.
Never really had a career. I mean, Miller and Johnson did something.
Do not start T.J. Yeldon.
Yeah, I mean, and of course he's going to score 2 1-touchdown runs. He's going to be worth 14 or 15 points for you. I mean, but San Francisco still finds a way to win.
Yeah.
The defense is good, but offensively.
Right.
Wow, it's a little nerve-wracking. Ayuk finally caught a ball. That was fun for the people that drafted him in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah. Big production.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Big production.
He's tearing it up.
A couple of other injuries. Let's take a peek. What else do you got there? We got Taylor. We got...
I mean, it seemed like Winston was hurt, but he wasn't.
He wasn't. He just played like he was hurt.
He just played relatively awful. You know who else?
Andy
Justin
Dalton.
Fields. Yeah, Dalton out. Justin Fields in.
Right.
The Bear fans have been dying for it. He doesn't look like he's accurate throwing the ball yet, but he can run.
He can run.
And he can put pressure on the defense. He does have an arm. He can certainly run. It was funny. We watched Mitch Trubisky for years, and the funny thing about watching Mitch was he couldn't throw left, right?
Right.
He could roll right and throw right. He could go stand in the pocket and throw right. Every time he tried to throw across his body a little bit to the left, he either sailed it or it got bounced or it got picked. He was just horrendous.
Right.
I never saw a quarterback since the great Dave Brown that couldn't throw the ball left.
He was great.
Fields has an arm, but in every throw he made, he was looking right. It was like they just took half the field away from him so he wouldn't get confused. Just roll right and throw right, or stand in the pocket and take off.
Right.
And the defense bailed him out. And listen, kid's first game. My quarterback looked good. So
in the second game, fantastic.
Yeah, only 4 interceptions. But Fields is somebody definitely now that is going to get the ball. Once they put him in,
he's in. And it's got to be really bad for him not to.
Unless the Bears are really starting to win games, and it's despite Fields, and they have a chance to make the playoffs with Dalton, you would think he's in. But the Dolphins showed you last year that the playoffs don't matter because Fitzpatrick would have had him in the playoffs,
right.
And they went with Tua, who throws these dying quail passes.
Right.
I mean, listen, I know he's a winner, Alabama, the whole thing. Everybody got hurt, everybody loved the guy, whatever. But fact is. Wow. I'm
sorry. The only ginger I trust is my buddy Gingy Vidal. That is it. He actually listens, so I have to throw his name in there somewhere.
The one thing we'll also say is the 49er running game. They released a running back named Virgin.
D-Virgin, right?
D-Virgin. So I didn't even know he existed.
Was it D-Virgin?
It was D-E-E.
Just D. So he is D-Virgin.
He's D-Virgin. He is also not on D-Team anymore.
Yes,
he is now... no longer a 49er.
He's deactivated.
He's deactivated. Exactly right. So, like we said, a lot of injuries last week.
Right.
But again, none of these guys were like your bell cows, except for the running backs in San Francisco. And even with that, it was a little bit.
Yeah, at best,
Mostert was like a 6th-round pick, right, Chris?
Yeah. if they were any more than your RB2, and it's a low RB2.
Yeah, exactly. RB2, RB3, bye week type stuff. And there are certain teams that are showing that this is the way they're going to do it. I mean, so you even looked at Indianapolis last week. Marlon Mack was starting to get carried.